with their identity not hidden in the shootout, it didn't take long for Big Mike to be held. And with his information to the officers of the entire detail of the shooting, King Von's arrest was soon after. They were both facing charges of first degree and 2 counts of attempted first degree.
Big Mike went in there and spilled the beans, didn't he? That boy ain't waste no time. That boy went in there and straight went to talking. Then I don't think it went like that. I guarantee you they probably like, oh, we gonna put all this on you. You going down for it all. We want Davon Bennett. YouTube. Mob, man, what poppin', man? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video, man. I go by Done. If you new, go ahead and do me a big solid, man. Go ahead and like the video. Go ahead and sub it up, man. After you sub it up, make sure you ring that bell. After you ring that bell, make sure you hit all. Because I don't want y'all to meet these banger folk. You feel me? Because we coming back to back, man. Back to back, man, for the rest of 2025, man. We finna get lit. You know what I mean? I'm trying to get this channel to like 2K. I need 2K by the end of the month, man. But I need 1,700 by the day. You did. Well, anyway, we back, man, with some dose of mystery content, bro. Y'all seem to be digging that content. So that's what we back on. And we finna be talking about the final hours of Malcom Stucky, man. You know what I'm saying? One of King Von's first bodies, man. Straight up.
May 29th, 2014. Chicago would see another casualty become an addition to the growing statistic plaguing the community. That afternoon, reports state there was a party at 5722 South LaSalle Street, a 2-story house divided into 3 apartments, situated a couple of blocks east of Interstate 94 and 3 miles southwest of the Museum of Science and Industry, where a 19-year-old Malcom Stucky worked. Malcom Stucky was scheduled to be present at the party, but before his arrival, there was already a certain type of energy in the party that reeked of potential gang rivalry. The mother who was throwing the birthday party for her son told officers that she was at work and returned home around 5:15 p.m., ready to begin cooking for the party. However, once there, she observed her son with some people on her front porch. Approaching, she noticed someone who caught her attention, a Black Disciple gang member by the name of Davon Bennett, aka Chicago rapper King Von.
Here comes trouble.
By a heavy-set female, as per her descriptions. She noticed King Von looked at some persons in a certain way, which she said prompted her to approach, telling him, "Don't start no mess in my house," meaning she didn't want King Von to gangbang at her house. She was aware King Von was an opposing gang member to other persons on the porch, which could be a recipe for disaster. But King Von responded in reassurance, telling her, "I'm not on that." While she returned inside to cook, King Von would leave. But soon it would become apparent his decision wasn't one of peace, but one foreshadowing a tragedy upon his return. As King Von left, his associate, Michael Lled, aka Big Mike, would receive a call. According to later reports, in a police interview, Big Mike would state that the persons on the call informed him that King Von needed...
Man, I don't know why he told. That boy was realer than the... Man, I don't know why he fold. Y'all think that song about Big Mike, bro?
...his muscle for backup. Big Mike stated he then spoke with King Von, who relayed to him there were other males present at the gathering, giving him hard looks and whispers amongst themselves. King Von would then tell Big Mike he wanted to go back to the party with him as backup. Lled, aka Big Mike, would inform officers that 10 minutes after the call, he was picked up by a female driver in her grandfather's 2-door silver Oldsmobile Alero. Malcom, on his way to the party, had no idea all of this was being put into play and his life would soon be in danger. Big Mike proceeded to get into the front passenger seat with Davon, aka King Von, behind him in the back seat. They began discussing what happened at the party, and that's when Big Mike stated King Von asked him if he was decent, inquiring if he was armed with the handgun. Big Mike would respond with confirmation that he was armed with 15 to 16 rounds with a Glock 40 cal semi-automatic pistol. King Von would then also show him the handgun he was carrying. They would proceed en route by means of the block west of the party, next to the expressway before parking. At that point, Big Mike phoned an associate at the party, inquiring into the whereabouts of the individuals they were after. According to his recollection, the persons would tell him to not let them come as their targets had a handgun. Undeterred, King Von would respond that it was okay because they had 2 guns.
Oh my God.
Would end the call, and both him and King Von exited the vehicle to carry out their plan. with King Von leading and Big Mike following.
So what I'm getting from this, like, nobody really said nothing to nobody, bro. It's just a gang war. You know what I'm saying? It's just GDs against BDs, my block against your block, and if we see anybody from that block, bro, we going crazy on them. That's crazy work, bro.
They made their way through a vacant lot towards the Sow before cutting through a gangway. Their intent was on catching their rivals, so much so that reports state that they weren't even concerned with concealing their faces. Somewhere during this time, King Von would call someone at the party, indicating to them he was returning. But the person would tell him not to come because there were kids playing in the front. King Von would respond telling him he was coming and instructed him to take the kids inside.
Hey, boy, I'm coming anyway. Boy. Get them children, take them inside, tell them to duck. I'm on the way, boy. You know what I mean? I hear what you saying, Ma. You like, hey, bro, don't come over here with that, bro. These kids out here. Von like, no. I'm finna slide. If you don't want them kids to die, better take their ass in the high. That boy was really on demon time for real.
The time he went to warn everyone in front, it was too late. King Von was already nearing his target.
Von already up.
Would inform officers that as they got to the end of the gangway, he observed a black male with long dreadlocks wearing an orange shirt standing.
Crazy work.
At the mouth of the gangway, they would make eye contact, prompting the person in the orange shirt to turn and began fleeing. King Von would begin pursuit after him to the front of the house before shots began firing. Malcom Stucky, who had just arrived at the party with Bennett, aka King Von, and Michael Wade, aka Big Mike, parked and made their way to the party, stepped outside to the sidewalk to smoke a cigar. He intended to go play basketball before returning to eat the food prepared, but the timing was unfortunate, perfectly matched to when King Von chased his rival with dreadlocks to the front and began firing. The rivals were firing back while running, and Big Mike stated that by the time he got to the front of the house, a victim, Malcom Stucky, was face down on the grass between the sidewalk and the street, bleeding out. In the heat of the matter, there was no time to even worry about Malcom Stucky, as bullets were still flying. Big Mike would observe King Von shooting at another guy while yelling, "Why you running?" Big Mike then joined in, brandishing his firearm and firing 15 to 16 rounds at one of the targets who was running north, hitting his target, causing them to stumble but not fall. Luckily for them, Big Mike's gun was empty.
Oh,
so he
my
turned
God.
and ran back through the gangway from which they originally came. Following behind was King Von before running 2 houses over and firing 2 more shots into a vacant lot at one of their rivals laying in the lot. The person in the car was bleeding from the mouth. He was shot in the face and suffered a broken jaw, while the other target suffered a leg shot. With the damage done, Big Mike and King Von made their escape in the awaiting vehicle, giving Big Mike the chance to also discard of his firearm in Lake Michigan, as documented in his later statements to the cops. Malcom Stucky would succumb to his wounds at the crime scene, recorded to have occurred around 6:09 p.m. An autopsy revealed his passing was due to multiple gunshot wounds.
It's
Documents
crazy, bro.
showed bullet trajectories entering his right ear, exiting his neck, and other shots entering his right upper thigh before fragmenting and partially exiting his right inner thigh. He was also wounded in his left upper inner thigh. The other 2 victims, who were shot by King Von and Big Mike, would survive the attack, but with the wounds of the near-demise experience. They were a 23-year-old man who suffered gunshot wounds to the mouth and leg and was taken to John H. Stroger Jr. Hospital of Cook County in serious condition, and a 24-year-old man who took himself to St. Bernard Hospital and Healthcare Center with a gunshot wound to the foot, as stated per police reports. They would inform officers of what happened, one stating that he was struck in his right leg by the gunfire, but he was still able to flee into the lot towards the alley. But then he saw Bennett, aka King Von, at the entrance to the lot.
Boy saw a demon, boy.
In his direction.
Boy saw
He
a
observed
demon.
King Von firing 2 more shots, striking him in the face. But he was able to flee, where he later received treatment from medical personnel arriving at the scene. With their identity not hidden in the shootout, it didn't take long for Big Mike to be held. And with his information to the officers of the entire detail of the shooting, King Von's arrest was soon after. They were both facing charges of first degree and 2 counts of attempted first degree.
Big Mike went in there and spilled the beans, didn't he? That boy ain't waste no time. That boy went in there and straight went to talking, didn't I don't think it went like that. I guarantee you they probably like, oh, we gonna put all this on you. You going down for it all. We want Davon Bennett. Y'all know how the police go, man. Y'all done seen first for that. Y'all know how it go.
With Big Mike promising to testify against King Von, it seemed like an open and shut case, and justice would be served for Malcom Stucky. As if enough evidence wasn't attained, the gun used to end Stucky's life would be found after a street stop of a Lamron gang member. Further investigations led to the linking the gun not only Malcom Stucky's passing, but to another Chicago shooting just days after.
Oh my
Cops were
God.
able to trace the gun back to a Natchez, Mississippi arms dealer by the name of Jonathan Smalley, who the weapon was purchased from just 2 months prior to Stucky's assassination. It was one of 25 weapons that Smalley purchased at area gun stores over a 2-year period and either delivered in person or sent through the mail to friends and relatives on Chicago's South Side, where Smalley was born and spent his childhood. Reporters state that on Wednesday, Smalley, 29, stood in a federal courtroom in Chicago and bowed his head as a judge sentenced him to nearly 5.5 years in prison for trafficking the weapon to Chicago. It was time to face the music. Big Mike and King Von were kept behind bars as the trial proceedings were organized to be on the way. King Von would keep his fans updated, posting pictures and videos of him behind bars in good spirits. From June 2014 to December 2017, King Von was facing trial with the possibility of his freedom being taken away, looming over his head. But the unthinkable happened. While King Von continued to not cooperate and speak any details on the hit, his co-defendant, Big Mike, was already lined up to testify, but he would go back on that deal, causing the case to fall through, and King Von being acquitted of all charges. King Von would walk free.
That's
However,
crazy.
there were grave repercussions for Big Mike reneging on his promise to testify. He was convicted of aggravated battery with a firearm for shooting Robinson and sentenced to 16 years, but acquitted of the hit on Stucky
Oh
and
my
aggravated
God.
battery of Carpenter. Marquise Carpenter and Timothy Robinson were revealed in court documents as the 2 other victims who were injured in the attack. Unfortunately for Big Mike, in March 2018, he also received an additional 12 years on the sentence for backing out of his deal to testify
What?
with his co-defendant King Von.
Bro, they gave that man time for not testifying. Like, what's the crime, though? What? He got on the stand and just wouldn't say nothing, so what, it was perjury? Like, what was the crime, bro? You know what I mean? That's crazy work, bro. And Big Mike beat the body, too. Both of them beat that body, bro. That's crazy work.
Bringing his total sentence to 28 years. Some sources online have updated information alleging that Big Mike appealed his conviction and had it reduced.
See, I ain't gonna care. That's why I'm not a street guy. Because they would have told me 20-something years. They could have told me a year Von did it. They could have said, you finna get 3 days in prison. What, 3 days? It was King Von. He did it. King Von. Him over there. Yup. King Von. Davon Bennett. Oh, block. King Von. Shit, I ain't doing no kind of time for nobody. So don't do nothing with me. And don't tell me nothing you done did. Because if you do, yeah, going to jail, bro. Because I ain't going to jail for you. I'm being straight up.
The discharge of a firearm. If that is true, he could be home sooner than his original sentencing. King Von, being back on the outside, made a statement via song, releasing the track Beat That Body, featuring associate THF Zoo, who also beat his charge. He would later also apparently speak on the situation with Big Mike and Malcom Stucky on a feature song, What's Next, by Jizzle Bucks. On the track, King Von appears to imply that Malcolm wasn't the target, but was a witness to the shooting.
I figured that, bro.
He was out on the
I figured that, bro.
and had to be taken out.
I figured that.
Fact, King Von recited the lyrics, "An N-word told on me before." He got a longer sentence.
A nigga told on me before, he got a longer sentence. I think they gave him 2080, rather talk than listen.
So it appears
my
Malcom
Big Mike
Stucky
then, eh?
was at the wrong place at the wrong time.
I figured
So
that,
sad.
gang.
Reports state that Malcom Stucky had a bright future ahead of him. He was an honor roll student with no criminal record. Sadly, his dreams for the future came to a tragic end at just 19 years old. His family would lash out at King Von, becoming one of Chicago's most polarized.
So this guy kills my brother and becomes a rapper. Okay, clown. I'll never listen to him. And that one Dirt song I did, like, I'll never listen to that MF again either. And this man is proud to say he beat his case. Throw my whole day away. Boy, I know that hurt.
Rappers, after being free and building a career rapping about his lifestyle. Associates of Malcom Stucky will release a song titled Malcolm's Song. where they expressed their grief over his passing while also seeking vengeance on those responsible for their loss. They would fail to directly enact their revenge, but Malcolm's associate made their feelings known when King Von lost his life on November 6, 2020 in Atlanta. Another lost, another gone. More bodies drop, more families mourn. Rest in peace, Malcom Stucky.
Yeah, it's crazy work right there, bro. Yeah, man. Rest in peace, Malcom Stucky, man. You know what I'm saying? Another young one, man, gone to gun violence, bro. Like, I don't know what's it gonna take, you know what I mean, for people to realize that really ain't the way, bro. But nowadays, bro, I mean, when was Stucky unalive? It's been some years, bro. It's been some years, and these kids still, it's like they done got worse, bro. Like, kids playing with guns, brandishing guns just for fun. Like, they ain't brandishing guns because they ops there. They ain't pulling out guns because they at war. They just like guns, bro. Like, these kids love guns more than they love money, more than they love the little girls, and the little girls love the little boys who got the guns. Like, it's crazy, bro. It's crazy out here, man. That's why everybody, man, make sure you stay safe, bro. Stay safe, stay prayed up, man. Pray over your kids. Because just like Malcom Stucky, bro, he was in the wrong place at the wrong time. So Von said he had to go. And I bet so many parents, bro, send their kids to these parties, bro. Send their kids to these sleepovers, thinking their kids are safe. And next thing you know, they got to get that phone call, or they get a knock at the door saying, hey, you ain't going to ever see your son or your daughter again, bro. That's gotta hurt. That gotta hurt, bro. You feel me? But once again, man, rest in peace to Malcom Stucky, man. You know what I mean? Hey, I like Von. I like his music, bro. But, hey, the good book do say, man, you live by the sword, you gonna die by it. So you live by the gun, you gonna die by it, man. You feel me? And it is what it is, man. But to the kings, to the jits out there, man, look. Don't want to be like King Von. King Von had mental issues, bro. Find a way to get your whole family out of y'all current situation, man, where, you know what I'm saying, it don't take being a crash out. You feel me? Because even though we all love Von, we rock with Von. That's what Von was. Von was a crash out, and he would crash out, bro, until he got crashed on. You dig? Anyway, man, y'all let me know what y'all feel about this in the comment section down below, man. Don't forget to like that vid. Don't forget to sub it up. After you sub it up, make sure you ring that bell. After you ring that bell, make sure you hit all, because I don't want y'all to miss these banger folk. You feel me? 1,700 by the day, 2K, we on the way, man. Roll to 10K. The 100K plaque will be ours by the top of the year. You dig, man? Hey, man, I love y'all, ma. But if y'all rocking out with me, make sure y'all tap in on all my other YouTube channels across YouTube platform. Make sure y'all tap in on my clothing website, man, imperialmaladies.us, and get at me on that ground round, man. Kingdown_7. In the meantime, between time, man, I'm gonna catch y'all on the next vid, man. Y'all make sure y'all keep these docus coming, man. I like reacting to things like this, so keep them coming at Kingdown_7, or you can just pin them down below in the comment section. You dig? Mob life or no life, mob well, no way. You know, y'all know how we come at OTM. We getting straight out the mud. And I'm gonna see y'all on that next vid, man. Let's get it. Yeah.